Hey everybody, just a video I wanted to put out here real quick to sort of document a string of events that occurred that I just felt I wanted to put out there and share with y'all. So let me see where to start. The other day there was a video on YouTube, and this lady was chronicling her garden, and I had kind of admired the way she had done her tomatoes. I'd never seen them done that way. She had taken some sticks, put them around the tomato plant, and she had weaved some twine together so that the tomato could grow through the weave type thing and be supported. Anyway, that's how it caught my eye. That's to start the story off. So the next day I went back on, and I want to see more pictures of her garden just because I wanted to do that with my tomatoes. And sadly, she had posted a video that a storm had come through and damaged her property, her home, and I have had some similar nature destruction in where I live too, and I recognized the despair in this woman's voice, and I was compelled to pull out my checkbook and see what I could do to help her. Now, normally I wouldn't detail any of this because I do these things in private, but this time I'm gonna give the details, and there's a moral to the story or ending to this whole thing. I had $75 in my checking account because I just got through spending all my money on the GoPro camera and a bunch of other crap. Anyway, I said, well, between now and payday, I really don't need any money. I'll send her a check. So I wrote a check for $50. I left myself $25 to get gas for the next 2 weeks. I don't really drive around a lot. And I felt really, really good about it. Sent it off. Then I also ended up seeing where another YouTube family member needed 22s because they don't get them where they live. So it's going in the mail today. Those are 22s. I don't want anything for them. I don't want to be paid for them, because to give from the heart, you have to give freely, and you have to mean it. I'm not doing it for recognition. I'm doing it because in my heart I feel that this is something I can do, so I do it. Meanwhile, my son had gotten evicted, and he's been looking for a place to rent for him and his girlfriend and their kids. He has until June 17th to find a place, or he's going to be homeless. I can't let him move in with me because I don't own this property. I rent this house from my brother-in-law. It's also not big enough for him, his girlfriend, the dogs, the kids. Anyway, I put on Facebook, I was saying how sad it was that we couldn't find a place, and that so many places wanted so much money up front, first from last month's rent, etc., that he had found a house that would allow the dogs, but he needed $825 in cash. And at that time, on that day, I had only had $200 in my wallet. So I said, if I had $625, my son would be in a house today. Out of the blue, a neighbor who can read my Facebook pages, I've added as a friend, sent me an inbox, and it said, I will be happy to give you the $625. No strings attached, no time limit to pay it back. And she said, because you are such a good person and you do such nice things for other people. And who does that? Who out of the blue says, I'll give you $625 with no strings attached? I was overwhelmed. I was truly overwhelmed. And I sent her back, thank you so much, but they ended up saying that the guy changed his mind, wouldn't rent to him. So we didn't need the $625. But the gesture has lasted in my mind that I needed to document this little blog, whatever you want to call it. And the reason being is yesterday my second oldest granddaughter was confirmed at church, and part of her ceremony was to give a little faith statement. And the statement that she used was when I was in a car accident, and she was afraid I was going to die. I had rolled my vehicle several times and was pretty seriously injured, but I recovered, and she was struck by it. She said that was the first time her faith was tested, was that she thought her grandmother was going to die. I thought it was very, very heart-wrenching. I know that she was affected at that time, and I've since healed up as good as I'm going to get. That's for that brain damage I got still. But in any case, what I said to her is I wanted to show her another example of what her faith will give her. So I gave her this story chronicling the lady who needed help after a storm had damaged her home, but she wasn't really asking for anything. And yet everybody is coming together to do what they can to help her. And then there was the lady that's on YouTube, and she doesn't have 22s where she's at, and I'm set in a box, and she asked if I could she could pay me. And I said, no, what I want you to do is just pay it forward. If you are touched by the need that someone else has and there's something you can do about it, do it. The world would be an amazing place if everybody was touched in their heart to help and they did it. These are just small examples. But what I was trying to show my granddaughter was just the simple thing of writing somebody a check, and it wasn't really that much money anyway, and that it's sending a box with some ammo to somebody else who needs it. Those are acts of kindness, and you are always rewarded when you do acts of kindness. So for me, out of the blue, this neighbor lady says, I'll loan you the $625, no strings attached. I'm like overwhelmed at the reality of how this works, that through your kindness, it will come back. So the purpose of this message that today was, if you're touched in some way by the need of someone else in some small way, I mean, a card thinking of you, or something you could do, maybe go over to somebody's house and help them with something you know they have a need with. It doesn't always have to be money, but when your heart tells you to help, you should listen. Thanks for watching, and pay it forward.